Hey everybody, welcome back to the Crazy Train. Before we get into the project, I needed to give everybody who cares an update. So, Emmy did have her surgery. She is going to have to be kennel bound for a couple of months. Her recovery takes about 3. So, behind me here on the edge, you can, okay, right there. That is an exercise pen. So I have got her in here so that she can be in here with me while I'm filming. I have another one in my bedroom for when we go to sleep. But you won't be seeing her popping up on the furniture in the next few videos because she's not allowed to run, play, or jump. So she's doing good. The surgery went well. Everything was fine. It's just that's how recovery goes. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about what I'm actually here to do. And that is to give you an update on the project. So this, before I get into it, actually, I'm going to ask you to do all the things. You know what they are. I'm losing my train of thought already, so hopefully you guys are with me on this. This is my update for the Roses Are Red project, which was created by the lovely Kana. Now, I always mistakenly refer to her channel as Kana's Closet because in my head it makes sense, and I think she did videos named that for a while. The name of her channel is actually Kana's Vanity. Either way, it's in the description box for you. It will get you to the right place. Now, she did do this for the Fantastic Ladies group on Facebook, so you know I've got them linked down there too. What Kana did is she took 14 quotes and gave us 14 prompts, and we are to pick 14 products to use 14 times over the course of 14 weeks. Got all that? All right, I did start a little bit late, but that's just me. So this is my first update. This should be going live December 14th. Hopefully it's on time. And then there will be another update in January 14th, and this project will end on Valentine's Day, February 14th. All right. Oh, hashtag panning roses, just so you know if you want to find anybody else. Now, she did say we could bring them all in at once, and so that is what I did. She also did say that we could eliminate one of her quotes to bring in one if we had one we liked. Well, I don't like doing that, so I just added a bonus one because I thought Kana's quotes were great. So we're going to go through the quotes, the items I picked for them, and tell you what my progress has been. And I'm going to need a wipe, so crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. You know how much I love that sound when it's in the videos, but what can I say? All right, the first one is, have enough courage to trust love one more time and always one more time. And that is a Maya Angelou quote. So this is something you would always repurchase. For me, I brought in my Moroccan hair oil. Now, I think it still had the cap on it when I brought it in, and I put the pump in since. I'm actually down to here already, and that is 9 uses. So the weight on this has gone from 240.3 grams to 238.9. I don't know how much the pump weighs compared to the cap. I didn't bother to check that because why would I? So we still have got 5 uses left on that. That will be remaining in, but will be an empty for the next update. Or not an empty, a completed goal. Sorry, not an empty. The second one is, I love her and it's the beginning of everything. And that's from F. Scott Fitzgerald. So this is a base or primer product. Now with this, I actually decided that I was going to go in with my Lancome Sills Booster. And this is a primer for the eyelashes. And this is my holy grail. So I have gotten 6 uses on this one since I opened it. I didn't open it when I introed it because I knew I was going to have, I knew the date of when I wanted to start this, because I like to start them on the first of the month, was actually going to be in between my last video and this video. So we've got 6 uses so far on this project. That will remain in. Then we have Oscar Wilde's quote, never love anyone who treats you like you're ordinary. So this is to be something extraordinary. And for me, that was this. This is the Philosophy Dose of Wisdom, which I fell in love with. And so since I only had this in for 14 uses, it went from, I got my 14 uses, by the way, and then I pulled it out of the project. So I have a mark as to where I am now. It wasn't totally full when I brought it in, but that's where we are now. We went from 69.7 grams to 63.3, meaning I used 6.4 grams in those 14 uses. And then I stopped, which is torture because I love it. But I can put it back in or add it to another thing or whatever. But that is a completed prompt. So that's the first one that we have rolling out for this project. Then we have Jane Austen. I have no notion of loving people by halves. It is not in my nature. So something you love with your whole heart. For that, I brought in my Lancome de Finicils mascara, and this is the waterproof one. That's what the little blue part is there around it. That's how you know that's the waterproof. It has just a normal, old-fashioned wand. Nothing crazy, nothing extreme, no hourglass, no Christmas tree, no nothing fancy. But this is one I will not go without. I don't even care if it's waterproof. This mascara is something I need in my routine. If I'm going to put on makeup, I want that mascara. I have gotten 6 uses on it since I opened it for this project. So that is staying in also. Then we have Robert Frost's quote, love is an irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired. That one was a little difficult for me to say. So this is something that I just had to have. And for that, I had brought in, and now it's not straight anymore. It's got a little B on the cap, but this is the Guerlain Abeille Royale. And I brought this in. I did my 14 uses. It went from 155.7 to 150.5 grams, meaning I've used 5.2 grams in those 14 uses. You can see that we are down. I think you can see, yeah, you can see where we are. So I pulled this out as soon as I hit those uses also, just because I know me with those, and I know that I would love to keep using them, but I can add them in somewhere else now that I've done this update. All right, so that is a rollout for this project. And then we have got The Giving of Love is an Education in Itself from Eleanor Roosevelt. So for that, it is something you learn to love by a new technique or use. There it is. For that, I had brought in this. And as you can see, it's empty. So this is the Organics brand. Yes, Renewing Argan Oil of Morocco, but Organics is the brand. And this I hated for my hair. Hated it, hence the Moroccan oil. So I actually use this on my body. It's not the most convenient thing to do, but I just took the cap off and just poured it into my hand, and then I used it after the shower before I put on lotions. I use it as a conducting oil, essentially, or a carrier oil. Well, conducting, carrier, I don't know. Whatever it would be, that's how I used it. And I finished it off. So I actually only ended up getting 8 uses. But I did use 25.4 grams of product. This is going to go on my empties, so you will see it in the December empties. And it is a completed prompt for this project. I didn't know how long it would last, so I was winging it. Then we've got Rumi. Love is the whole thing. We are only pieces. So for that, it's a palette. And I had recently gotten myself the I Need a Nude. And it is what I am wearing today, and I will give you swatches of what I am wearing. But I have done 2 looks with it, and I've actually used 11 pans doing those 2 looks. So the first one, and for both of these, now this is what the whole thing looks like. And you can see that the lightest shade in here that is very, very bone-colored, cream-colored neutral is Fair right here. So I did use that both days, and I don't know how well we're going to be able to see. Oh yeah, you can see it on my finger. You can barely see it on my hand. I don't know if you can really even tell. So it is a perfect setting shade. I use it to set the primer before I do colors over it. All right, so for the first look, we went with Fair, obviously was my base, and then I went with this peachier one here called Wit. And that's actually kind of a good flesh colored one too, but on me it does actually come up peach on my eyes. Then I went into Silhouette because that was a transition. Silhouette is darkening my outer corner. Then I used, sure I did, because I'm going to be able to see here real well. Where did it go? Oh, I used this shimmer right here, Muse, and then Delilah. So I did, Muse is very light. That ended up being more of the inner part of the eyelid, and then Delilah is darker, so that went middle and outer part of my eyelid. So we'll get all these on the hand. So hopefully you can tell, and we're not losing that shade Muse too much. You can see they're very shiny, they're very nice. This is a lovely palette. I have no regrets. Even having the Glam palette, I have no regrets. But you got to be super paper white, I think, to make this really work, because there's not a ton of super dark, and there are quite a few that are fairly light. All right, so for the second look, what I have on today, Fair is what I started with again. But then I decided I wanted to play with some ones that I hadn't played with, so I started with mesh here, and I did that in the transition area, and I wanted to deepen it up, so I did intentionally go into this one here called Tender and put that in the crease. And then I used Silhouette again to darken the outer corner because that is the darkest one. And then I did, where is it? This one here, Filigree. And then I took Mia and did that as an inner corner highlight. So aside from the two that are already on my hand, these are the other ones that are in. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that either. I can't even see that. Okay, some of these are really hard to see because they're really light. But yeah, mesh actually is a good transition for me. It's a little hard to see on my hand, but it is deeper than what my skin tone actually is. And then I don't know, you can see the shine maybe for Mia for that inner corner. It's perfect for that because it's very, very light, very sheer base. All right. Now I had decided that yes, I was going to do a pan as a use. So this is going to be in for one more look, which I could have put it in for 3 looks. It would have been about the same thing. So I will just write down then what I used for the next update. So I will make sure that I make note that this is update 1, because that way I won't subject you to my pathetic swatching yet another time. All right, then, the 8th one that Kana gave us is, you might not have been my first love, but you were the love that made all the other loves irrelevant. And this is Rupi Kaur. Kaur. I can never get that out of my mouth right. So it's a product that replaced a Holy Grail. And it's one that goes back and forth with the Holy Grail, because it was a Holy Grail, then it got dethroned, but I still love it. So yeah, so I'm going back and forth, and I decided I wanted to go back to this because this is the drugstore pricing. This is the NYX Angel Veil Primer. And I don't know if you guys have probably seen what these look like, but just to give you a little, it's white. So it's like that. And then it doesn't give a white cast, it just blends right in, so you don't see it at all. I have gotten 9 of my 14 uses so far. So that went from 36.4 grams to 31.1 grams. That will be staying in. I'll have that done by the next update too. Then we start getting into some things that are going to be here for the whole project. Number 9 is True Love Stories Never Have Endings, and that is a quote by Richard Bach. So this is a product that never seems to end. So I went with the Baked Blush. So this is the Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten in Tropic Hues, which is a shade that I truly do love. I am wearing it today, and I went a little bit heavy-handed because it's a little bit hard to see. Oh, shoot. Well, yeah, that didn't work out real well for me. We'll try that again on the other hand. I have all my stuff on, so I don't have enough space. So this is kind of, it's a peachy pink color. I have red underneath it because I'm wearing red, so I did want to go a little bit darker with it. But obviously it can be nice and pale too. It doesn't have to be quite as dramatic as I made it out to be. And for me, this is a good everyday. This is kind of a lot like an alternative to the NARS Orgasm for an everyday, can go pink, can go peach, whatever. This is another one of those that does that for me. So I have gotten 3 uses on that so far. That is remaining in the project. Then we have Sometimes the Heart Sees What is Invisible to the Eye, and that is from H. Jackson Brown Jr. So a no makeup product. For that, I brought in my Dior. This is the Lip Glow Oil in Berry, which is number 900. And you can see it's actually starting to settle, where you can see that it is going down. Now, it's got the jumbo doe foot. So when I take that out, then you can see it looks like it's much lower. I mean, it looks like it's almost half gone without the doe foot in it, which is good because I want to use this. I have gotten 11 uses on this in this project. I've used it before. So it's staying in, and I will keep using it, and I will let you know where I stop. Okay, then we have The Art of Love is Largely the Art of Persistence from Albert Ellis. So this is something that was previously in a project pan. For this, I brought back in the dreaded Oh Snap lip liner, which I am wearing under the lip oil right now. I don't know how much you can see anymore. And that is what is left of it. I have used this 9 times, and I was actually able to make a new mark. So you can see it is going down. I mean, it's not something that's going to be finished in this project, but at least it will get me using it a bit more. So we still have 5 more applications on that before it can roll out, which means that hopefully it'll go down more and we can have another good line. Figure if I just keep chipping away at these things little by little, about 7 projects in, I might actually have a completed like eyeliner, lip liner, things like that. They take me forever. I'm slow. All right, number 12, whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. This is Emily Bronte. And I did correct myself last time. This is Wuthering Heights. This is Catherine talking. If I'm remembering this correctly, and I don't know if I am or not, but this is Catherine talking to Nellie, and I think they're in the kitchen. And I know that Heathcliff overhears part of that conversation, but doesn't get all of it. And she's explaining to Nellie why what Heathcliff means to her compared to like what Edgar Linton means to her. And I wasn't 100% certain on that when I was talking about it last time. But anyway, so this is a dupe or 2 similar products. Well, I like to bring in this as a dupe because this is a dupe for everything under the world, under the sun. You know, one of those 2 sayings that I'm going to just jumble together. It is Essence, the blush. Mine is in number 10, Befitting. So that's what it looks like. And I'll do this with the correct hand this time. I don't know if you can really tell. Yeah, you can kind of see it on my finger. My hands are really dry. I've had to wash them like 17 times and I didn't put on lotion, which I should have. So that is the second blush that I have in. So you can kind of see them next to each other. Not like I have a certain type that I like to go for with my products or anything. I have gotten 4 uses on this, so I have 10 more to go. So this is staying in the project. All right, next we have got Love Starts as a Feeling, but to continue is a choice. And I find myself choosing you more and more every day. And that is from Justin Welsh. So this is something that grew on you. Well, something I'm getting rather used to and actually like kind of having a little bit of color because my eyebrows are fading out, is my Benefit Give Me Brow. Now, I don't even remember what mine is in. 2. Mine is in number 2, whatever that was, because I'm losing some words. And I have used this 13 times. And this thing, honestly, is getting kind of ratty and nasty and running out. So I'm going to use it there one more time, and then I might have to call it quits on this. So you will see that in the empties coming up soon, because I think that one's on its last legs. All right, then Oscar Wilde again. We have Who Being Loved is Poor. So this is a drugstore product you love more than an expensive one, and for me, I really don't have as much of a preference as most people do. I love, this is the Wet n Wild, and I always call it the photo finish. It's the photo focus powder. The photo finish is the primer from Smashbox. I mix those up all the time. This was last Christmas's edition because it is Snoopy, so it is called Snow Much Fun. And I put an oodle of it into the thing. So you can see that it's got one of the huge sifters in it. And that's what it looks like. It is actually almost like a bit of an oatmeal color, but when I'm using a big brush and, okay. When I use a big fluffy brush and just kind of slather it all over, you can't really see it. It does kind of blend in. It does not make me white. It looks a little bit white on my hand, but it does not have a color necessarily to it, even though it starts out a little bit oatmeal-y looking. And this is in, okay, this is just the translucent, which is what their regular stuff is too with the black cover. I just like Snoopy. Now that I have gotten 13 of my 14 uses on, we went from 89.4 grams, because that was brand new, to 85.6 grams. So just under 4 grams so far. One more use, and then that is actually, I will take I don't know if the weight will change, so I'll take the weight on it after my last use, and then I'm rolling it into another project. So that's what you get going with that. Then my bonus is a Marilyn Monroe quote, and it's, "This life is what you make it. No matter what, you're going to mess up sometimes. It's a universal truth. As for lovers, well, they come and go too." So I decided that it was something that you loved from a discontinued brand. Well, this is kind of a come and go brand actually, because what I brought in was the Smashbox champagne, no, the Becca champagne pop highlighter, which is the one of the things that was picked up by Smashbox when Becca went out of business. So I figured that's kind of the come and go in your life type of thing. So that is what champagne pop looks like. It is gorgeous. That is also what I am wearing today. Yeah, I'm shiny. And we'll put it over here. So it's not blinding, okay? It's shiny and it's subtle and it's nice. I no doubt about it went heavy-handed because I wanted to. So it is a little more visible. I have gotten 7 of my 14 uses on that, so that's halfway there. That will be in next month again still also. Now, for this project, what I decided to do with the music moment was a little bit different. I went through and just found lyrics from a bunch of songs, be it the chorus, be it part of a verse, whatever, that I thought fit in, and I actually picked them. I picked one for each number of prompts that there are. So what I did is I gave you 5 the first update. I'm going to give you the next 5 this time, and then we have more. I think I have a grand whopping total of, I have 16 because I have a specific one for the finale. So the first one we're starting with is a Beatles song. It is off of the 1969 Abbey Road album, and it is the song The End, which ends with, and in the end, the love you make is equal to the love you take. And I have always thought that was just beautiful as far as lyrically, but then also within the song itself, I also think it's very, very beautiful. It's a really cool way to end the song. So then the next one I found was Your Song by Elton John, and this is from the 1970 self-titled Elton John album. The lyrics that I pulled for this is, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. These come up as some of like the most famous, most well-known love songs. And so like I went through and kind of pulled the different lyric to tell you why I decided that this is the one I wanted to include. All right, then, now this one is the one that has kind of the weirdest provenance to it. This is the song I Will Always Love You. It doesn't really matter which version you go with. I actually know the song originally from the movie Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, which was a Burt Reynolds, Dolly Parton movie. Now, this is a song that Dolly Parton originally did. It's from the 1974 album Jolene, but she sings it in the 1982 movie Best Little Whorehouse. Then, it was, okay, this is screwy. So before Whitney did it, what happened was Kevin Costner actually played the 1975 Linda Ronstadt cover of Dolly's song, and that's how it got in the movie. But the one that plays in the movie, Houston liked it, but the one that is playing is a country version in the background at the scene where they're at the bar. It's playing on the jukebox, and that is by John Doe. Now, John Doe, and I had to double check to make sure I was right on this, because when I read that, I was like, wait a minute, John Doe's from X. If you're looking back at the 80s stuff, I didn't know he did any country, so I had to double check. And yes, it is John Doe from X with Exy and Cervenka. And that's a punk band. So it is in the movie. The country version that you're hearing in the background from the jukebox is actually by John Doe, and it is him singing it. But it was Linda Ronstadt's version that convinced Whitney to do it, and so then Whitney Houston's version is also in the movie The Bodyguard. Did I mention that it's from The Bodyguard? I thought y'all knew that. Okay, sorry, but that's kind of what we got going on. Now, Dolly loved Whitney's version of it, and the two of them had talked about it. It was not like this bad thing that Whitney had such a huge hit with it. Dolly was very, very satisfied and very happy for her for that. Dolly is a very sweet person in general, and is, she did well with it too. And she was thrilled that Whitney brought the song back to, prominence and had a hit with it. All right. Obviously, you've heard this before. I Will Always Love You. I mean, I think that kind of just stands on its own with or without any of the other lyrics. And the song is just stunningly gorgeous no matter who's doing it. Then the last one, not the last one, the second to last one that I am bringing in for you is a song called You're Still the One, or still, yeah, You're Still the One. It's by the band The Orleans. And this is from the 1976 album Walking and Dreaming. Now, the chorus is the reason that I brought this in. And if you have heard a lot of oldies, you heard this back in the day. And the chorus is, you're still the one that can make me laugh. Still the one that's my better half. We're still having fun and you're still the one. Oh, that was sweet. So the last one, the last one that I'm bringing in is actually a Billy Joel song. And I don't mind Billy Joel, but I'm not the hugest Billy Joel fan. But it's Just the Way You Are, because that definitely makes it in the top of all-time great love songs. And that's off of his 1977 The Stranger album. So for this, it is basically the chorus of I love you just the way you are. And that is the reason I pulled it in for this project. Now, I don't link videos for all of these. I will give you, especially with I Will Always Love You, I am just going to list everybody that I talked about. Dolly, Whitney, John Doe, Linda Ronstadt. I don't know if there's anybody else, but I will put all of their names. So if you want to go just put it in somewhere in YouTube and look it up, you'll be able to find versions, I'm fairly certain. All right, that is everything I have got for you for the project. Thank you so much for giving me a whole bunch of your time. I truly do appreciate it. Yeah, I don't even know what else I was going to say. I think I'm pretty much done here. So until next time, everybody. See ya. Bye.